All right.
Okay, we're ready? All right, good. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We want to thank all of you for coming out this afternoon for what's going to be just the beginning of a very exciting time for the city of Eunice, the parish of St. Landry, in the state of Louisiana. And we have some very special guests with us today to celebrate and observe this occasion. And we want to thank them for being here. All of you are very important, as you know, because it's going to take a big team to make this thing happen. And I can just tell you that the plans are well underway, and they're doing a fabulous job. My name is Celeste Gomez, and I'm the director for St. Landry Parish for the Tourist Commission. And as part of our mission, we are here our job is to make St. Landry a leading tourism destination in the state of Louisiana. And the South. We're not going to cut ourselves short. So there you go. So our mission is to promote events and to get people to come and visit our area and to experience what we have to see and do, and to really be a part of what we are so proud of, our culture. And that's what we live every day. And in fact, that's what our tagline is, St. Landry Parish, we live our culture. Because we have so authenticity to offer to people from the area. You're not going to find it anyplace else in the world. And a lot of times we take that for granted. But I think as we're in the month of November, we all should be counting our blessings and being very thankful that we do live here and that we have great resources such as this beautiful campus of LSU Eunice. So I want to say that this Experience Louisiana Festival, it's going to be a great experience, and we're just so proud to be a part of it. I'd like to thank Dr. Nunez at this time and everyone here on the campus for allowing us to be here today.
My pleasure.
And I mentioned already that we have several important guests here with us to celebrate this announcement, and I'd like to begin by recognizing them. First and foremost, we have our leader that I'm so proud to work with very closely in our efforts. He's been an outstanding servant to the state of Louisiana. He's done a fabulous job with all of his responsibilities, not only with tourism, but as being second in command as our Lieutenant Governor. We want to welcome Lieutenant Governor Jay Dardenne. We also have two representatives from our on the federal level. We have Mark Hebert. Mark's here representing. Oh gosh, Mary Landry, Senator Mary Landry. I'm drawing a blank on me. How could I forget? It's not. Yep, it's not. I'm going to give you a hard time. I know he's in A-Bear country, but that's okay. And then we have Mr. Bigg, who's here representing Congressman Bustani. Thank you. And on the state level, we're so glad to have our state representative, Mickey Gilreath.
All right.
Parish leader, we're so glad that he's here with us as well. We have Parish President Bill Fontenot. Mr. Fontenot. And we also have our representative from this area for St. Landry Parish, Mr. Jimmy Edwards, our councilman here. Thank you, Mr. Jimmy, for all that you do. We have two of our city councilmen with us this afternoon. Let's see, I saw Mr. Roland Miller. Roland, thank you for being here. As well as Scott Fontenot. Scott's with us as well. Thank you. Great. Well, again, I just want to thank all of you for being here, and all of you are very important for what we're doing here this afternoon. And so, we just want to also thank these people that do take the time to serve our communities as elected officials. And many times it's not such a thankful job, but we're glad that you stepped up to the plate and do so. We appreciate that very much. Well, again, we're here and we're going to kick off the program. We're going to continue. The next person that I'm going to introduce to you and bring to the podium he's truly been an inspiration. I know we know him. He's a very civic-minded person here in Eunice. Throughout the years, doing what he's done with the Eunice Community Band and Choir. But he decided to take this on, and I'll just tell you, he's the most organized person I've ever seen in my life. I don't think he sleeps, literally. He's just, just so professional, and I have no qualms. I just know that this is just going to be a fantastic event because he's at the helm, and he's got a great team behind him. But I'd like to call up at this time our festival director. I guess it's going to be our title. We're going to anoint him this afternoon as we do this. Mr. Dwight Jodon. Thank you.
And I'm just a member of the planning committee. That's all that's going on here. We got a really good team. But I do want to recognize all of the members of the committee, and the team goes way beyond that. But to my left are committee members Pat Dossman, Lynn Lejean, Michelle Derwin. That was on the list. Kelly Pete, Bonnie Pete, and Francine's representing the chamber. Candace is representing City Hall. So thank you all for being here. I know most of you have heard a little bit about the project, if not a lot, but we do want to give you an overview of what's to come. And we have 4 of the members that will be speaking about it to give you kind of, hopefully, the nuts and bolts of what will be happening right outside next fall in October. The vision for the event grew from a desire to create a project similar to the Louisiana Folklife Festival, hosted in Eunice about 2 decades ago. And it's funny because the SGA members here, that's before you were around. But we welcome Eunice High and St. Ed's SGA for helping this afternoon. To feature artists and craftspeople from around the state. It was an amazing time, if you remember the Folklife Festival, of community spirit, and is remembered as a very well-run festival. While reminiscing about the wonderful event that it was for our city and the state, the idea for this new, exciting festival was born. It was the desire to develop an event that would, at its core, be centered around Louisiana folklife and be much more. LSU Eunice is one of this community's crown jewels. And while seeking festival grounds that would accommodate an event of this scale, because you'll see in a minute that it is very, very broad, the large space just to the north of this building arose as the ideal spot. Dr. Nunez, Chancellor of LSU, he attained the appropriate permissions to be on the campus and to host the festival here, and that is a huge deal. For Eunice to have access to the LSU brand is a big, big deal. So thank you. It's at that point that the Eunice Rotary Club officially and unanimously adopted the festival as a club project. Subsequently, the festival was unanimously endorsed by the Eunice City Council. I thank the council people for that, and making the City of Eunice a co-sponsor. The primary festival sponsors are, or partners are, St. Landry Parish Tourist Commission. Thank you, Celeste, for all that you have done so far and will do. The National Park Service. We often get in the habit or the groove of just saying that. Vince is here with us. Where's Vince? Vince was here with us. We in some ways, I think, take for granted the reach that has and the ability for us in a town of 10,000 people to say that we have or host a national park site. And so the National Park Service has come aboard as a partner. Also, I want to acknowledge Angela Rathley is Vince's superior ranger. She is in charge of the Thibodaux, Eunice, and Lafayette Park sites. And she is doing great work for the event, promoting and getting involvement by the rest of the Park Service out in the state. The Eunice Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Don Mayu is here, and Francine are here, so we appreciate your partnership. The Louisiana Folklife Center on the campus of Northwestern State University has endorsed. Also, Louisiana Folklife Director Maida Owens, under Lieutenant Governor Dardenne's office, is also very involved. Maida has been at the Department of Culture and Tourism for, I guess, almost 30 years now. Yeah, and she remembers the Folklife Festival when it was here. But she's a part of the team, and that is huge for us. And also, we're developing a film component. Film director and author Kevin McCaffrey is becoming very involved. We've also got interest from Pat Meir and Connie Castile and others in the film industry that are, I think, going to make a real neat component for the festival in that way. And other entities throughout the state that you'll hear about. So I'd like to bring up another committee member, Pat Dossman, to continue with the overview.
Thank you, Dwight. We would like to give you a better and more detailed understanding of the event. The festival components will be organized into villages, which include the Folklife Village, featuring folk artisans demonstrating authentic, traditional Louisiana crafts and trades. Festival guests will have the opportunity to speak with the folk artists and learn firsthand about their craft. It is our highest priority that this core component represent the cultural diversity of Louisiana in an authentic way, and that each art or craft exhibited be celebrated and shared with integrity and respect. The Musicians Village, featuring scheduled as well as impromptu jam sessions, and that's jamming with an instrument and not making berry jam. The location will be the quadrangle north of the library, a beautiful tree-covered area in the center of campus. More to come as this element develops. The Artist Village, comprised of artists from a wide variety of genres and mediums, including folk art, classic art, pottery, glass, photography, and more. This building will serve as home of the Artist Village. Eunice Community Art House is helping to coordinate this element. Is there anyone here this afternoon from the Art House? Michelle is here from the Art House, and I really would ask you to visit this facility. Eunice truly is wonderfully gifted to have this facility. It's sort of New York. The Craft Village will be organized by and a sanctioned event of the artists of the Louisiana Crafts Guild. We thank them for ensuring that this component is authentically Louisiana. We want to recognize and thank Mr. Miles Peterson, president of the Louisiana Crafts Guild, who could not be here today, but a very important component of our festival. Walk Through Louisiana is a component that will be very unique. We are inviting cities, tourist bureaus, festivals, and other tourist-related organizations to be a part of the walkthrough, showcasing the absolute best of their event or area of the state. Festival guests will be able to stroll through the walkthrough and gather information about different regions, as well as meet and learn from people representing these regions. We are excited to provide this opportunity to all corners of our state. Now please welcome committee member and Eunice Chamber of Commerce President-elect Kelly Pete, who will continue the overview.
So every day in my kid's lunchbox, I put a little joke. Let me start with a little joke, and it is, why did the student eat his homework? Because the teacher told him it was a piece of cake. Plans are developing to include a film village, which will spotlight the work of Louisiana filmmakers. The festival has met with and received the endorsement of Kevin McCaffrey, a prominent Louisiana filmmaker and author. We will have more to announce about the film component once plans are firmer. We do want to acknowledge a distinguished Louisiana filmmaker who is here with us today, Mr. Pat Meir. And of course, there will be music. The festival's main stage will feature some of the greatest performers in the state. We look forward to rolling out the entire lineup as it is finalized over the coming months. However, it is a huge honor to be able to announce that Eunice's own Gino Delafosse and French Rockin' Boogie is officially the first band booked for the Experience Louisiana Festival. And what is a festival without food? It goes without saying that one of the primary attractions of our great state is the sensational culinary tradition and popularity of Louisiana cuisine. The festival will include some of the best food in the world. There will be food booths as well as opportunities to meet chefs from across the state. Many more details are coming about the festival's food component. Mr. John R. Young of John Young Chevrolet in Eunice is coordinating the Classic Car Show, which will be staged adjacent to the main festival grounds. Is he here today?
Doesn't see John.
I don't think he's here today, but we thank you. To conclude the overview, please welcome committee member Lynn Lejean. Lynn is also the current president of the St. Landry Chamber of Commerce.
Well, I don't think I could beat Kelly in the joke. But I do want to tell you how wonderful it is to see everybody here. And Lieutenant Governor, thank you so much for coming. Chancellor Eunice, it is a wonderful treat to see everyone here. And we are going forward. We are excited about this project. It is a long time in coming. And I see so many faces out there that in the years past we've talked about it. They've supported us, and now it is time for us to put the show on. So we have so many components that are working at this time, but one I'd like to say right here at the campus, Coach Will is proposing a game that will be played at the grounds over there, and it'll be quite an interesting thing that we'll get to see the 4-time national champion Bengals play. Right, Coach? Right. And the beautiful people that you see back here, no offense, Coach, in their uniforms are some of those players. And we thank you for coming and appreciate everything that you do. Rotarians David Reed and Donnie Richard developed an athletic event which will also take place in conjunction with the festival. These are all different components. For 2 days we will have anything and everything anyone at any age will be able to enjoy. A tremendous benefit of the Experience Louisiana Festival is that it is bringing together planners, presenters, communities, and organizations, all passionate about this event. The festival will really and truly be a cultural networking event. The project has already drawn national attention as we currently are making plans to host a Canadian group. There are 5 communities around the Nova Scotia area that have already committed to coming in for that weekend. We are humbled by the reception and have received from Lieutenant Governor Jay Dardenne's office. And from the very beginning, a brief letter went out to him probably 6 or 8 weeks ago, telling him briefly about our dream. Within a week, we got a response from him. And I think that speaks highly of his efforts and his energy. So, on this 18th day of November 2014, following an immense amount of planning and thoughts and praying and planning, the Rotary Club of Eunice, the Louisiana State University at Eunice, the City of Eunice, the National Park Service, St. Landry Parish Tours Commission, and the Office of Lieutenant Governor Jay Dardenne are pleased to announce that the inaugural Experience Festival will be held on Saturday and Sunday, October 17th and 18th, 2015. Right here at this beautiful campus at LSU Eunice, Louisiana. Now it is time to honor a great partner, a member of the planning committee, a wonderful host, and he has put up with a lot from this committee, so we thank him. At this time, we'd like to recognize Dr. William Eunice.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to LSU Eunice, and welcome, of course, you out-of-towners to the City of Eunice. We're delighted to have you here. It's my sincere pleasure, in fact, even honor, to introduce our state's Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Jay Dardenne. Over his more than 25 years of public life, Mr. Dardenne has identified himself to be what I would call a true public servant, because he has served both the people and the state very well in every position that he has held. In fact, this man, I think, represents what is called principled leadership in action. He is truly extraordinary. I've had many opportunities to know him and work with him, particularly during his time as a senator in the Senate of the legislature. Under his stewardship currently as Lieutenant Governor, for example, Louisiana has enjoyed consecutive record-breaking years in tourism. For instance, last year over 27 million visitors came to our state spending $10.8 billion and leaving behind tax receipts of over $800 million, money that Louisianans didn't have to pay. That's extraordinary, and it's been that way since he got in the saddle. Under his stewardship, things have happened. Previously, Lieutenant Governor Dardenne served as our Secretary of State. He was, as I said, Louisiana Senator, known as the National Republican Senator of the Year. He's that sterling in his role. And of course, he was a member of the East Baton Rouge Metropolitan Council. All in all, totaling 25 years of service. 15 of those years was in the Senate. He's received a host of awards. I mean, I started counting them because I just couldn't respond to every one of them, but over 25 different awards. And one of note to me as an LSU person was his induction into the LSU Hall of Distinction. I was disappointed, though, as I read through these 25 notable accomplishments. He did not have any award for being a Louisiana historian. And I'm here to tell you he is the best lecturer on Louisiana history since I spent time in T. Harry Williams' class at LSU. He's just a charming man, and we are fortunate to have him with us today, and fortunate to have him in our governmental service. Please join me in giving an LSUE and City of Eunice welcome to Lieutenant Governor Jay Dardenne.
Thank you for a very, very generous introduction. It's great to be back with you. I enjoy seeing the athletes over here, and it reminds me, we're talking a little bit about baseball. I know we're in the throes of football and basketball about to start. I think this is a basketball player back in the back, but one of my favorite baseball quotes was a guy named Calvin Griffith, who owned the the Minnesota Twins a number of years ago, and he was very famous for saying that about his team. He said, "The fans love home runs, and we've assembled a pitching staff to give the fans what they want." I hope that hadn't been the case coming up for Jeff and the team. But congratulations on all your many successes in the past. I know you got a great future in the coming seasons. This is really exciting for me, and I want to commend all of you and tell you a little bit about the level of planning that you're experiencing, because I know just this event, as Celeste said, has been so well planned, and y'all are responsible for doing that. And if it's any indication of the success of this festival, it's virtually guaranteed. And to show you how on point you are in thinking with what our messaging is in Louisiana, I heard the words unique and authentic and passionate mentioned by the various speakers. And our brand for Louisiana, of course, is Pick Your Passion, because we have so many passions, and I talk about them as being food, music, recreational activities, outdoor life, and festivals. We only have 400 of them in Louisiana, and now we have about 401. But if something walks, crawls, flies, or swims, we have a festival to salute it, and we throw it in a gumbo and eat it. And this Louisiana experience is going to capture a little bit of everything great about our state. And to show you how on point you are with where you're heading with the festival, last year we celebrated the Year of Music in Louisiana, and we really put an emphasis on Louisiana musicians and drawing people into Louisiana who like to listen to our music. This year, consistent with what you're doing, our advertising message deals with things that you find only in Louisiana, experiences that you're not going to find if you go visit some other state in America. And next year, coinciding with the introduction of the inaugural event here on campus, will be the Year of Food. We'll be celebrating Louisiana food in our messaging throughout all of next year. Now, as you can imagine, as you pointed out, you can't have a festival without food and without music. So all that weaves into our messaging, but we just put a fine point on those particular things, and it's proven to be very successful with people coming to Louisiana. The other interesting note that you've already hit upon, and Jeff mentioned this, I went to France 2 years ago on a tourism mission, and one of the gentlemen just very matter-of-factly asked me if if I could provide some baseball uniforms, because they have a very fledgling baseball program in the entire country of France. And I said, I think we can do that, and came home and we started making some phone calls, and actually we ran into a brick wall at my alma mater, LSU Baton Rouge, because they were unable to provide any unis. But talking to Jeff, talking to other coaches around the state, we literally had, I don't remember the numbers, but several huge boxes shipped to France with baseball equipment, baseball uniforms. So the early French baseball players are going to be decked out in Louisiana games, which is kind of neat. But more to the point is the importance of international tourism for Louisiana. And you know that in Eunice, you know that in St. Landry Parish, you know that throughout Acadiana, really, because there's such a fascination with this part of Louisiana with international travelers, particularly those who speak French. And last year, we increased our international visitation by 18%, which was the largest percentage increase in America. And so what you're doing with this Louisiana experience, or Experience Louisiana, is going to be a great attraction for international visitors, and you've already proven that with the efforts of these folks who are already coming from Nova Scotia. There will be a great deal of international interest in what you're doing. I'll tell you, even though it's an inaugural event, travel writers, tour operators are looking for excuses to come to Louisiana. And Celeste and her crew do a great job in your area of making sure that you're not overlooked when people are making travel plans around the state. And that's what we like to focus on doing. We know that people come into the state for New Orleans, but we also want to make sure they understand they need to fan out into other parts of Louisiana and experience the things that are not necessarily on the plate in New Orleans. And this festival is destined for success. I can assure you that. You've got a great team of people who are committed to what they're doing. They're very organized, and most importantly, here we are a year out announcing the festival, giving you time to raise money, to make plans, to get committees in place. And although I can't give you an exact number right now, I can assure you that I'm going to make certain that the Office of Tourism in our department is at least a 4-figure contributor to your efforts to raise money. So we're going to I left myself a little wiggle room there, but we're going to provide some monetary assistance to what you need, but also we're going to provide assistance through our office, and we are happy to be a co-sponsor really with the great groups you've gotten. And to have this kind of a public-private partnership is exactly what you need to do in a festival or in anything that's promoting arts and culture, because in the difficult times we're experiencing with government right now, we become more and more dependent upon the private sector. So thanks to the Rotary Club and the private organizations that are going to be involved in this, and the leadership in the parish and the city and through Celeste's office, and we're real proud to be a part of it and know it's going to be a huge success. So thanks very much.
Thank you. I do want to mention David Reed is here, and he and Donnie are working on athletic components that are not ready to announce at this point, but we'll have other pieces that you'll see of the festival coming into place in a way that draws audience in a huge way to Eunice. The date, October 17 and 18, is special in that we've been advised by some of our local world traveling artists in that the second week of October is Festivals Acadiens et Creole, which draws many international visitors to Acadiana. 2 weeks later is the Black Pot Festival, Black Pot Camp in Eunice, in fact, at Lakeview, and then the festival over at Acadian Village in Lafayette. This festival will land right in between those two events, and I think the capacity to draw an international audience is just huge. So thank you to David and all the others that you'll see coming into play in the coming years. So I guess at this point we need to just christen all of you who have shown up here to listen and understand as ambassadors, because you're a part of I think, something very special that's coming for not just Eunice, but for the state. And you being in on the front end, you can now go out in the community and tell people what's coming, put it on people's radars, and draw support and attention, and jump on board. There'll be opportunities to get in the mix for sure over the coming months. So at this point, it wouldn't be a true launch unless we had balloons. So we do in fact have balloons. The Lieutenant Governor said that he's not experienced a festival launch with actual balloons. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to recreate this format outside in a kind of a ribbon cutting format. We will formally cut the ribbon and launch balloons. and take a formal picture outside, but then we're coming back in. So I want to make sure to say that if you want to come outside, the SGA, local high school SGA will be launching those balloons. We're going to try to get a great image that we can use to promote the event. And then we'll come back in for more fellowship. Thank you to everyone who brought food and refreshments over on the side. And I think there's one more presentation.
Oh, is it mine? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have a habit, actually it's a ritual, of mugging everyone who comes to campus in a very friendly way. So in keeping with that tradition,
Thank you.
welcome to LSU.
This is my second one.
Oh, he's ready for the table there, Seth.
So we'll head out this way. We'd like as many of you that can be a part of this image to be out.